am I on?
The newly released Mission Impossible movie has enjoyed an overwhelming response and has successfully preserved the legacy of the franchise with all the action-packed drama that unfolds. This may only be the first part of the complete story, but the fans still have plenty to cheer for and some genuinely nail-biting moments to keep them on the edge of their seats. While some captivating new characters have been introduced in the new movie, Grace, played by Haley Atwell, is easily the most impressive among them. In this video, we will explore her entire story arc and also try to speculate where her story is headed next. There will be some major spoilers along the way, so you have been warned. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Exploring the detailed role of Grace in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Just to give you some context, this time around Ethan Hunt and his team are out to retrieve a key that is instrumental in controlling an experimental AI tool called the Entity, which has gone rogue. After malfunctioning, the Entity somehow acquired sentience and is orchestrating a clever plan to sabotage world governments with a large-scale data infiltration and elaborate planning. While major world powers are seeking the key to take control of this malicious AI element, Ethan Hunt believes that it is far too great a threat to humanity and wants to destroy it permanently. During the course of tracking down the key, Ethan meets his match in Grace, a professional thief with incredible skills in her craft. He loses half the key to her and finally manages to track her down in Rome. However, other agents across various communities are also there to apprehend them, and here we get to witness one of the most incredible car chase sequences in the movie. The stunt involving a mini Fiat swerving left and right to evade the pursuers will be remembered for a very long time, and Grace and Ethan seem to have a great professional chemistry, even though they started off against each other. She escapes again, but this moment probably indicates what is about to come in terms of her character development in the movie. Then comes the decisive moment for Grace in the movie, when Gabriel, the man functioning according to the Entity, reveals that one of Ethan's trusted comrades is going to die. The gallant and fan favorite Ilsa Faust is killed, and Grace barely survives, and Ethan helplessly fails to prevent the great tragedy. This chaos and confusion stir up a change in Grace's allegiances. Never before has she worked for a party that really cared about her life as much as Ethan's compassionate team. Her change is akin to Catwoman and Nolanverse, and you are bound to notice a few similarities. She is now convinced to work for Ethan and his team, and they all decide to board the Orient Express, where the new buyer of the key is supposed to be present for a meeting. The climatic action sequence in Dead Reckoning Part 1 is simply next level, and it culminates on board a train. Grace is once again in the mix of things, and she plays a key role in the mission. She disguises herself as the White Widow, and one of the iconic Mission Impossible masks makes it the perfect deception. She is supposed to prevent the selling of the other half of the key, which is crucial to unlocking the Entity. In a shocking twist, it is revealed that the key is actually being sold to IMF director Eugene Kittredge, and Grace skillfully pickpockets the key even as the sale appears to go through. Unfortunately for her, Kittredge realizes the theft before it is too late and sends his henchmen after her. In this difficult situation, Ethan Hunt performs the most daring stunt of the movie, as he parachutes through the window of the train after skydiving off a cliff on his motorbike. Grace is saved for the time being, but a greater threat awaits the duo. Gabriel, the apparent right-man hand of the Entity, is also on the train, and he is determined to get hold of the key as well. He succeeds momentarily, and when Ethan chases him onto the roof of the train, he makes a miraculous escape by jumping out on a truck. Even though Ethan pickpockets the key from him just in time, his troubles are far from over. The train is all set to crash from a bridge, which has been detonated by Gabriel, and together with Grace, Ethan practically tries to save the train and the people on board. They manage to detach the empty front carriage, but it almost seems like it is all over for Grace and Ethan. Luckily for them, a grateful Paris comes to their rescue, even though she is fatally injured. He also whispers the words Sevastopol to Ethan, making him realize the significance of the Russian submarine that went down in the first scene along with the Entity. Now he has the key and knows where to find the Entity to unlock it before it actually spells doom on Earth using its dirty tricks. Grace offers one last twist in the tale as she approaches Kittredge and expresses her choice to join the IMF. Of course, Part 1 ends in a cliffhanger, but Ethan and his team have a few advantages in their future mission. Why Grace is the perfect addition to Ethan's super team. Grace might not be the most ethically sound or morally perfect person that you will come across, but she has shown that she doesn't lack compassion and common sense. She started off working as a freelancer for various organizations, but once she realized the gravity of the situation and the true purpose of Ethan Hunt, she did not hesitate to change sides. She is a feisty woman who can handle herself under extreme pressure situations, exactly what Ethan seeks from his team members. She is quite smart and is able to think on her feet in such situations, missions, and we have seen such instances several times in the movies. Her final decision to join the IMF might be up for debate, but we're willing to believe that she did so out of a greater concern toward the threat of the sinister AI network. What does it look like for Grace in the upcoming movie? The Mission Impossible franchise hasn't always been too kind on the primary female characters. One of the founding theories of the series lies in the fact that Ethan and his heroics put those close to him at risk. From the female agent who sacrifices herself for Ethan to complete his mission in the first movie, to Kerry Russell's character in Mission Impossible 3, to Ethan's love interests. Few ever come out of it all alive and well. Even in Dead Reckoning Part 1, we can see Ilsa Faust being killed off even after being a longtime ally and complicated love interest of Ethan Hunt. What we're trying to say here is that the evidence does not add up to a satisfactory ending for Grace in the upcoming movie next year. There is always a chance that her character will be sacrificed to give the newfound enthusiasm and determination in Ethan to avenge her loss. However, if her story arc doesn't go in that direction, you can expect a lot more from her in the next segment of Mission Impossible. Her final decision absolutely lays out the foundation for what comes next, and she has joined hands with the IMF to serve as an agent. Surely that saves her for the time being, but with a leader like Kittredge and Ethan Hunt gone rogue, things might change drastically for her all too quickly. She will not be facing any criminal charges for the time being because she cleverly manages to shift sides, but we're yet to know if she will truly work as an IMF agent or join the CIA. Kittredge might eventually decide to keep her out of the IMF to keep her away from Ethan, and this might end up putting her on the CIA radar. It is, however, more likely that Kittredge will want her services for the top secret agency, and she knows far too much for him to let her go. Now that Ilsa Faust is gone, Grace has the potential to turn up as the new female lead, and it remains to be seen if she will be romantically involved with Ethan Hunt as well. There is also a big question mark on how much information she will withhold and how much she will choose to give away to Kittredge. It will also be an exciting prospect if she goes rogue when it suits her and goes back to her lone wolf days. She has certainly earned Ethan's trust after their mission together, but we have to wait and watch to find out if she keeps it that way. We have a feeling that she will play a key role in the final destruction of the entity, but we have to wait and watch how things unfold. Whatever the final outcome, the character has been a solid addition to the familiar faces, and the British-American actress Hayley Atwell has done a phenomenal job in both the acting and stunt department. Do let us know in the comments what you think about the new Mission Impossible movie and the presence of Grace as a key character and the mix of things. Also tell us your views regarding her future in the franchise.
And how it ends.